Hey, what up, Toolmaker? Today I'm going to go over the top things that I do to help with latency and performance in Ableton. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Performance out of my computer is the most important part of my workflow. If there are no issues, then I can create freely with no distractions. Number one for me is going to be storing my samples, sound packs, and sessions on an external SSD hard drive. I mentioned this also with my FL Studio performance video, which you can find here. Doing this allows the SSD drive to help with some of the heavy lifting on your computer. A regular hard drive can help as well. They're typically cheaper and have a longer lifespan, but an SSD is faster and it's also shock resistant. Shock resistance is huge because if you use your laptop on the go and you drop a regular external hard drive, you could lose all your work. With shock resistant, if you drop it, you'll be in a good place. Number two, using reduced latency when monitoring. This one's easy. When you're recording with microphones or instruments, just click up here. Come down here to reduce latency monitoring and just make sure that this is checked. Basically what this does is it takes the track with the most latency and then it adjusts all the tracks so they have the same amount of latency. Number three is going to be using the CPU's load meter. Note, this is going to involve audio that is processed from live and not things like open videos or plugin windows. And if you want to see which plugins are taking up the biggest load, come down here and you can click on the C. Number four, checking for updates. You can check by going to the help and come down here and check for updates. If you want to know what version you're on, go up here to live and go to about live. Number five is going to be choosing your buffer size. The lower the size, the lower the latency. So when you're mixing, a higher buffer size is recommended. To get to this, you go to live, settings, and the audio tab. When using a mic or recording, you'll want to choose lower samples. I typically go with 128 to 256 samples. And when I'm mixing, I'm generally at 1024 samples. Number six, freezing and flattening tracks. Freezing tracks can help manage your computer's load. When you do this, Ableton creates a sample file in session view and arrangement view. So then it plays from the sample file instead of playing from all the plugins. Now, if you're in a bind and your beat is done and you're ready to mix and the load meter is getting too high, what you can do is you can do save as. Then choose a new name like Final Mix Flattened or something that you can remember. To do this, just right click from the file and just freeze the track. And then you'll notice that it's highlighted blue. Then come back to the tracks that are using a lot of CPU power and you can flatten the tracks. This commits the current effects and instruments you have. That's why I recommend doing a save as, so if you need to make changes to the original file, you still have access to it. Now you're left with the WAV file with no processing. So those are my top ways of helping with latency and performance in Ableton. So if you like videos like this, please feel free and like and subscribe. Other than that, peace out.